Good evening or good morning whenever you're viewing this clip. Well, this is a occurrence in my life that brings smiles to my face even to this day. It's about a Christmas that I had as a child in 1943 during the Second World War. I had my heart set on a bicycle. During this particular time period in our history, production of toys and items of that particular nature had very, very little priority. Everything had been geared up for production for the war, which was quite understandable. Well, this particular incident, I had let my grandparents, my mom, and about anybody else in the family that would listen that I wanted a bicycle. I had found a picture in a Sears and Roebuck catalog of a blue bicycle. Not the fanciest one, but it was pretty fancy for that time. And I sure let everybody know that's what I wanted for Christmas. Well, on my grandfather's farm at that particular time in 1943, everybody was coming home to the farm for Christmas that year, and the grandfather's farm was just packed with cousins, uncles, aunts. Everybody running around in that house was related to each other, and all the cousins were there. Well, big. I really enjoyed that because one of the things we got to do was we got to sleep on the floor in pallets that grandmother and grandfather had specially made for it. And we all enjoyed it. Hell, kids like to sleep on the floor. And let me tell you, in an Illinois farmhouse, it's not the warmest place in the world, but they threw the old heavy quilt floors and we all snuggled up and slept. Well, anyway, the night before Christmas, we were all sacked out. Grown ups, as usual, yelling, "Shut up, you kids go to sleep." And they were up, I don't know what they were doing, probably drinking some beer and wine as they did, and then conversations. And in those days, you were not heard, more or less, so you didn't enter into adult conversations. And my uncles probably had enough of me and pestered them because I was trying to get their emblems, have them give me their emblems off their uniforms, or some of them had ribbons even then at that particular time. Some didn't. I was trying to talk about it, so they were probably glad to see me go to bed. Well, anyway, Christmas morning, I thought, remember, that was the longest night before Christmas. Well, we finally got off to sleep, and of course, the kids, one of the cousins woke me up. Get up, get up, get up. It's Christmas morning. Get up, get up. And grandmother intercepted the herd of us cousins and said, look, stay out of the front room where the presents are. You children are going to have your breakfast, and you're going to wait for the rest of the adults to get up, and then everybody will go in to the front room or the parlor or whatever they called it in those days and exchange gifts and see what Santa Claus does. You kids, oh my Lord, torture. So out to the kitchen, they had a round table in that kitchen. There was about, oh God, there must have been all 7 or 8 of us cousins there. I think all of us, maybe there had to be 8 then at that particular time, sat around that kitchen table and suffered through breakfast. So finally, the grown-ups finally got their hind ends up and everybody gathered up and they had their coffee and I said, oh my God, are they going to fiddle around much more? I think they did that stuff on purpose because it was driving us kids nuts. Anyway, we walked into the front room there and I looked, oh man, no bicycle. Well, it's a year of Mackinaws, socks, long underwear, the wool types that itch God. And maybe with luck, a pair of long pants, I'd get out of them damn knickers that the big boys wear at that particular time. All of a sudden, one of the uncles, I think it was Uncle Glenn, yelled, Dad, Dad, come out here and take a look at us. Bring Ronnie along. Now I said, oh, holy cow. They hit the chicken house or they stole one of the hogs or something last night. I said, Grandpa wasn't going to be happy. On the way out, he raced past the place. We had a place where he hung his weapon on the wall there, and he grabbed grabbed that Winchester. I said, well, man, something's up. So I went running out there, and of course, that could get a little excited when he grabbed that rifle, man. Things were going to get hot. Anyway, we got out there, and Uncle Glenn standing there says, look, Dad, look at those tracks. They're coming up over the clover field there, jumping the fence by the smokehouse, going past the old apple orchard, through the apple orchard there up by that territory, jumping the yard fence, and look up on the roof, there's tracks. I said, well, what in the heck? And, because we looked out the window before, when we got out, there was no tracks out there then. Anyway, all of a sudden, Grandmother yells, get back in here. Santa Claus had to make a return trip or something like that. There's another gift under the tree. I went running in there, and I walked in that front room, and I guess my jaw dropped to the floor because my uncles and grandfather, and I had a grin, and there was this beautiful blue bicycle sitting in there with a monarch plate on it. Oh my God, dreams fulfilled on a Christmas. Well, later on in life, after my uncles had come back from overseas, I had been in and out of the Marine Corps, and I tried to corner them. How in the hell those tracks got out there? They never would fess up to it, never. But then I said, well, at least you will tell me how Grandfather was able to manage getting a bike during that particular time because they just didn't make them or weren't producing them. Well, he says, your grandfather went around in 2 counties, and he scrounged up parts, part by part, put that bicycle together, took it down to the auto body shop, had it painted, and made it for your well, man, there it was. My grandfather had done that for me, to get a bicycle for me. And it was one of the best Christmas that I ever had in my life. Well, that's a story. It happened a long time ago in Illinois, and it still brings a smile on my face. And I used that bike for years, right up till I was in the 9th grade. But it seemed like the 10th grade I discovered girls, and I'd give that bike to one of the kids in the neighborhood that needed a bike and couldn't afford one. Well, it did double duty and made one of the happiest Christmas in my life. Well, you all have a good evening or a good morning. Don't take any wooden nickels. They don't spin. And that's all from this old man in Texas for now.